Greetings friends and guests of the channel. I present to your attention the latest news. The Black Sun organization has issued an ultimatum. Declare a world federation or face a nuclear catastrophe. Faced with complete military and geopolitical defeat, the Black Sun organization, the chief controller of the Western military-industrial complex, issued an ultimatum to Asian secret societies. They must either agree to the creation of a world federation or face a full-scale nuclear war. This ultimatum came from Vincenzo Mazzara, Cavalier of the Teutonic Knights and senior officer of the Black Sun. This happened after a comprehensive purge of high-ranking leaders of the Khazar Group and the military defeat in Ukraine. The Khazar Group and the Black Sun were working on a long-term plan that involved using Ukraine to destroy Russia and divide it into several vassal states. After that, they planned to invade China and divide it into 5 warring states. Then they were going to appoint their Messiah as the dictator of the Babylonian-style world god king. The White Dragon Society and their Asian allies stopped them on the spot. Now they face the bankruptcy of the West, complete military defeat, and the ongoing purge of their top leadership. That is why the Black Sun is now agreeing to a new multipolar and just world order. However, the battle is not over yet. To understand what we are dealing with, we need to realize that the United Nations, the World Economic Forum, WHO, BIS, IMF, World Bank, etc., are private non-governmental organizations. The same people who own them own 90% of large corporations. Most countries of the world do not control their own natural resources. The oligarchs control all visible leaders. Leaders are not employees of the people. They are employees of the oligarchs, says Kalin Georgescu, former president of Europe for the Club of Rome and a senior unofficial. Slavery has never disappeared. It has become more powerful than ever thanks to brainwashing, he adds. These people intended to turn the entire planet into a farm of people and animals, controlled by members of their tribe. Let me make this clear. These people are not God's chosen people, they are psychopaths. There is no mention of the word Jew in the Bible, only the synagogue of Satan. To enter their group as high-ranking servants, Level 33 Freemasons need to go through a ceremony. All these oligarchs are connected to the system because we know that more than 8 million people a year disappear without any information. This criminal act is transhumanism, Georgescu confirms. Since ancient times, the elites have sacrificed their children to Baal. King Charles was diagnosed with cancer. Queen Camilla has cancelled all public appearances. Crown Prince William has disappeared. Kate Middleton underwent abdominal surgery and has not been seen since December. Sarah, Duchess of York, was diagnosed with skin cancer. Prince Edward is stepping away from royal duties. Thomas Kingston, who married a member of the British royal family, died suddenly. Jacob Rothschild is dead. The King of Norway was taken to the hospital with an infection. Pope Francis was taken to the hospital. The Queen of Denmark has announced a shock abdication. 2 black horses were seen with a captured white horse and a black flag near Buckingham Palace. It is the custom of royal horsemen never to bring a white horse with them, without the presence of the king and queen. The presence of a white horse means the presence of a king. When King Charles is not in this cavalry, it means that he is dead, says an MI6 source. Since this happened when Jacob Rothschild's death was announced, it means that he was the real King of England. Polish intelligence also informed us that Prince William is actually the son of Jacob Rothschild. Rothschild's mouth equals red. Shield equals the shield is being pursued by the Gnostic Illuminati. The current head of the British and French branches of the Rothschild family, David René de Rothschild, contacted the OBD to say that his family wants to surrender and that their only requirement is not to be killed. However, when the Department of Internal Affairs tried to respond, we were told that he was on a ski vacation. Either he is hiding in the Rothschild compound in Zug, Switzerland, along with his cousin Klaus Schwab Rothschild, or they have both been exiled from the mortal realm. Benjamin de Rothschild is also dead, and since Jacob appointed his daughter Hannah as heir, Nat Rothschild seems to have disappeared too. The disappearance of all these high-ranking psychos is connected with the order of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to declassify all Jeffrey Epstein's files. Epstein is a Mossad agent. He is still alive, who infiltrated the elite and created an extensive video library in which they talk about torture. Queen Elizabeth admitted that she herself was blackmailed by the video. These recordings are now in the hands of the White Hats, according to Mossad sources. It seems that the Rothschild purge is consistent with the Declaration of Independence of Germany and Europe. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz signaled this rupture with a series of leaks. He revealed details about the UK's assistance to the Ukrainian armed forces. Scholz then released a 40-minute audio recording showing the German military planning to blow up the Crimean bridge with Taurus missiles. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov called it a blatant disclosure. These revelations came after a meeting of representatives of about 20 Western countries on February 26, at which most countries said they did not want to send troops into Ukraine. They also spoke out against any participation in military operations against Russia. In other words, the appeals of French President Emmanuel Macron de Rothschild to declare war on NATO were denied to Russia. Even his foreign minister, Stéphane Séjourné, rejected him, saying, "The French are not going to die for Ukraine. We are not going to send troops." The Rothschilds also created a fourth avatar after the hospitalization of 3 others since January of the fake as Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, calling for war against Russia. This powerless domestic slave was also rebuffed. Another domestic slave, Rishi Sunak, vowed to support Ukraine until it gets its way on the anniversary of the war. "Hell be hanging from a lamppost soon enough," promises an MI6 source. In an apparent break with the Rothschilds, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz declares that NATO is not and will not become a party to the conflict in Ukraine. NATO has no plans to send military personnel to Ukraine, confirms Alliance Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg. According to German intelligence sources, Scholz had no choice but to break with NATO. Germany is no longer governed. Politicians are pelted with rotten eggs or burning car tires when they go out in public. The Germans want to withdraw from NATO, the message says. European farmers are also shaking hands with politicians. Polish farmers and truck drivers are blocking the border with Ukraine to prevent unfair competition. In addition, Belgian farmers broke through police cordons that tried to prevent them from protesting in front of EU institutions. In Spain, farmers are also displacing riot police from the Zaragoza castle. Dutch MEP Rob Roos says, "The ruling class wants our farmers to disappear, one regulation after another. All, of course, in the name of climate. Stop preventing farmers from doing their jobs. We really need our farmers." Food security is also a matter of national security. Now it turns out that only one of the 10 largest companies in the Ukrainian agricultural sector is not registered in Ukraine. The rest are mostly in tax havens, such as Cyprus or Luxembourg. We already know that they belong to oligarchs who evade taxes. Now the CEO of Kellogg's is trying to tell Americans to eat this toxic and sterilizing agricultural cereal for dinner because it's cheaper. Kellogg's cereals are fake products, a CIA source said. In any case, the oligarchs are going to lose the land they stole from Ukrainians before they stole it from American farmers, because the situation on the front line is catastrophic for Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Zelensky's abrupt behavior and his constant touching of his face and nose in an interview with MSNBC made it clear that he was using. He needs different substances to escape reality, in part because the Pentagon's Inspector General has uncovered more than 50 cases of possible embezzlement, fraud, or corruption and sending military aid to Ukraine. Inspector General Robert Stork pointed to a case where unidentified items arrived in Poland as part of a large shipment of weapons and then disappeared from the dispatch manifest when shipped across the border to Ukraine in June. Only about 30% of the $113 billion that the United States spent on military, economic, and humanitarian aid to Kiev actually went there. Jesse Waters talks about where some of that money went when he talks about Biden's missing diamonds. The Russians are now making it clear that NGOs controlled by the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, such as the UN, are the main global problem. Non-governmental organizations spend billions of dollars to support various extremist, political, and religious organizations. The result of their so-called work is the inevitable destabilization of the socio-political and economic situation in the destination countries, says Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova. An example of this is the IPCC Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, which is responsible for policies that drive farmers to ruin, leaving them with no choice but to rebel. The IPCC is not a scientific academy, and its conclusions that carbon causes global warming have been categorically rejected by scientists. This is what it looks like when government policy denies reality. Another example of Go crimes is the huge influx of undocumented military-age people into Europe and the United States. This is part of the so-called Kalerga Plan. The Austro-Hungarian Count Richard de Coudenhove-Kalergi conceived the idea of crossing Europeans with other races in order to create a mixed breed that the elite of the Khazar group could easily manipulate and dominate, French says, according to sources in Polish intelligence. In his book Practical Idealism, Kalergi writes that Europeans should be turned into subhumans, devoid of any character traits and easily controlled by the ruling elite, sources say. The Coudenhove Kalergi European Prize is awarded every 2 years to Europeans who have distinguished themselves in promoting this plan. German Chancellor Angela Merkel and the head of the European Commission Herman Van Rompuy are among the laureates of the award. Those who implement this plan have flooded Europe and the United States with illegal male immigrants of military age from third world countries. In the United States, it was Rockefeller frontman Joe Biden who opened the borders with his order. Funny Joe claims that he does not have the executive power to close the border. This is an outright lie, says Caroline Levitt. The ability to throw away your identity documents from any country, cross the southern border, and ask for asylum has made America a haven for the world's worst criminals, Elon Musk tweeted. California authorities have confiscated enough doses of banned substances to kill almost twice the entire world's population over the past year, according to a statement from Governor Gavin Newsom's office. Now the government has ordered gun dealers to sell guns to these undocumented illegal immigrants. In addition, the Los Angeles Police Department hires and arms these illegal immigrants. Other police departments are being asked to do the same. It is clear that the conspirators are trying to hire foreign mercenaries to protect them from the American people. As Tucker Carlson notes, people around our country are destroying this, and they are doing it intentionally. By the way, Russia prevented an attempt on Carlson's life by this Ukrainian agent. Now they are trying to eliminate us with lasers from a distance. They just started the largest fire in Texas history with a targeted energy weapon. The puppet masters are unhappy that Texas is planning to secede and return to a gold-backed payment system, as well as possibly join the BRICS. Joe even admitted that it was a do attack when he said, "If you fly over these areas that have burned to the ground, you will see a house standing there among 20 houses that are completely destroyed because it has the right roof." At the same time, he is referring to the blue paint that all the elites painted on their roofs before the attack on Maui. Now in the Brazilian Amazon, almost 3,000 fires have occurred due to heavy rains, which is a record for February. It was their reaction to the hundreds of thousands of Brazilians who gathered in support of former President Jair Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro, like Donald Trump, is accused of organizing his own J6 event. Don't forget that these people are still trying to eliminate us with cocktails. Now a rare mosquito-borne virus has been discovered in America. The latest CNN report. Bill Gates has been charged in India with the murder of Dr. Snehal Lunawat. He is one of at least 17 million people who have died from cocktails since 2020. Prime Minister Narendra Modi Gates is currently in India. Rest assured, only the guilty will be punished. The innocent will be reinstated.